Friday, August 15th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including the identity of a woman shot and killed in Stratford over the weekend and a fatal accident on the Merritt last night. Later in the show, we have an interview with one of the organizers of this Sunday's Sunset Run for the Warriors in Shelton. Kevin Coleman will have a look at your forecast and a Nutmeg sports update, and Donald Ang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, Stratford police have identified the woman who died after being shot early Sunday morning. Police identified the woman as 27-year-old Raynetta Ketchings of Stratford. Police said Ketchings and an unidentified 24-year-old man suffered gunshot wounds at a home at 1584 North Avenue. Police said that shooting happened just after midnight Sunday after what appeared to be an argument at the residence where a party was said to be going on. Ketchings was pronounced dead early Sunday morning at Bridgeport Hospital. The male victim was also taken to Bridgeport Hospital for treatment, and he was listed in critical condition on Sunday afternoon. Police are still investigating that shooting and trying to identify the shooter or shooters involved. You can get more information at stratfordstar.com. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports that one person is dead after a vehicle sought by police crashed into the woods off of the Merritt Parkway in Fairfield late Monday night. State Police Trooper Kelly Grant said the vehicle was reported to have been involved in an evading crash in Stratford earlier in the night after striking the personal vehicle of an off-duty trooper. Now, the southbound crash happened near exit 46 near the Fairfield-Trumbull town line around 11:25. The crashed vehicle was located by Trumbull police that assisted in searching for that evading vehicle. It's unclear whether the vehicle was being pursued by police before it crashed into the woods. The name of the deceased person has not yet been released. The southbound exit 46 exit was closed for several hours. Now, the crash scene has been cleared and, according to reports, did not affect the morning commute. That accident happened in the area where the Merritt Parkway curves just before the highway service area. And a pizza delivery man was beaten and robbed Friday in Trumbull at an apartment complex. Now, according to reports, that driver arrived at the Royce apartment complex on Old Town Road at about 9:30 at night, and he was waved over to a group of three males about 16 to 20 years old who were waiting for the delivery. Now, when he approached the group, two of them left to go get money, and when they returned, they tackled the victim, then kicked and beat him. Now, during the assault, the victim said his wallet was stolen out of his pocket. He had about $60 in cash, a bank card, and his Brazilian ID card in his wallet. Now, the attackers fled on foot, leaving the victim on the ground. Trumbull Canine Officer R.J. Carlson and his dog Rico searched the area but could not locate those suspects. The victim refused medical treatment. Police are asking anyone who has information about that incident to contact them at 203-261-3665. And in other news, Fairfield firefighters shared video of members extinguishing a car fire during Monday morning's rush hour on the Merritt Parkway. Now, firefighters say that Engine 5 and Ladder 2 quickly extinguished that van fire. The fire occurred in the southbound lanes just north of the Burr Street overpass. Firefighters from the Westport Fire Department provided some backup, and thankfully no injuries were reported. And you can see more at the Fairfield Fire Department Facebook page. In other news, 2 restraining orders were added to the charges against a college student and former emergency medical technician with the Easton Volunteer Medical Service. 20-year-old Christopher Barlow of Duxbury, Massachusetts, appeared in Plymouth District Court in Massachusetts on August 11th when the 2 restraining orders were added to his charges. Barlow was arrested June 26 on charges of stockpiling illegal weapons and impersonating a police officer. Local, state, and federal officials had searched his parents' house, where they found guns, fake IDs, and items to make incendiary devices. Now, his lawyer asked for an extension of his probable cause hearing until September 22nd, and the judge approved it. Now, according to the Easton Courier, Barlow has been held since his arrest in the Plymouth County Courthouse of Corrections Jail pending a dangerousness hearing. Now, although he's held without bond, Barlow's former girlfriend, who's 20 years old, requested a restraining order against him. Judge Scott Peterson granted that request for the former girlfriend and at their parents' request for her 14-year-old sister. Now, Barlow, a Sacred Heart University student, was part of the college live-in program at Easton EMS during the school year. He graduated from Duxbury High School back in 2015. Duxbury Police Department detectives obtained a search and arrest warrant for Barlow after a long investigation. Much more on that story at eastoncourier.com. And Hearst, Connecticut Media's Neil Vigdor reports that a state GOP leader says she's sorry for a Facebook rant posted in the wake of the deadly melee in Charlottesville, Virginia, incited by white supremacists, referring to immigrants who commit crimes as, quote, junk people who deserve what they get. Patricia Fairs, a Republican State Central Committee member from Ansonia, reportedly wrote in part, "As for xenophobia, what a bunch of crock." She said, "I'm tired for paying for every foreigner showing up, some of whom are here just to make trouble instead of settling and making something of themselves." Fairs went on to write, "Those junk people who won't support themselves and who do by crime deserve what they get." Now, Fairs was responding to a post by Mike Lawler, a Democrat. Hearst reports that Lawler linked to a BuzzFeed story about James Alex Fields Jr., the alleged Nazi sympathizer from Ohio, who was charged with driving his car into a counter-protest in Virginia on Saturday, killing 32-year-old paralegal Heather Heyer and injuring many. Now, with the post, Lawler said, "Trump voters, you totally own this." Now, Fair is an alternate Trump delegate to last year's Republican National Convention, and one of 72 members of the state's party's governing body said she regretted the wording of the post. She told Hearst that was a mistake. "It gets so emotional. I should have gone back and apologized for that. It was a typo." She said, "Nobody called me on it, and I typed the wrong thing." She went on to say, "I was typing in the dark in the bedroom with a very small light." All right, well, switching gears now, let's throw it over to Kevin Coleman for a look at the forecast. Kevin.
Thank you, Kate. Well, for today, generally cloudy with a stray shower, possible thunderstorm this afternoon, high of 78. And tonight, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. That'll be around 10 p.m. Tomorrow, except for a few morning clouds, an absolute beautiful day. Sunny skies, a high near 85. And on Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, high of 81 with a possible rain shower coming in late around Thursday night around 10 p.m. That'll do it for your weather update. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Well, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Kevin has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's more local news after this.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
Things are heating up this summer. See some of the world's best tennis players at the Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. Enjoy food trucks, entertainment, and special events throughout the week, August 18th through the 26th. Get tickets at connecticutopen.org.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. DockShop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance Event. Now through August 31st.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-5555. 888-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this August 15th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. We're going to throw it over now to Donald Ang to take a look back on this day in history. Don, what do you have for us?
Well, it's a celebratory day, Independence Day actually, for a pretty large percentage of the world's population. First, though, we go to 1483. Pope Sixtus IV, Sixtus, by the way, means polished or pretty. Sixtus IV consecrates the Sistine Chapel. Now, it was originally called the Capella Magna, or Greater Chapel, and it was recorded as existing as early as 1368 in a dilapidated state. It was Sixtus that rebuilt and reconsecrated it, but it was Pope Julius 25 years later, that commissioned Michelangelo to paint the ceiling. If this painting was in color, by the way, that ceiling would be blue with gold-gilded stars on it. To 1965 now, the Beatles play to 60,000 fans at Shea Stadium in New York City, an event later regarded as the birth of stadium rock. The 12-song setlist included the classics Twist and Shout, I Feel Fine, Ticket to Ride, Can't Buy Me Love, Hard Day's Night, and Help. But take a good look at the teenagers in the photo there, because now we're going to go to 1969, when the Woodstock Music and Arts Festival opens in upstate New York. Now, 4 years later, those 16-year-olds are now 20-year-olds at Woodstock. It's amazing how fast culture can change. Woodstock would feature some of the top musicians of the day, including, on day one, Richie Havens, Sweetwater, Bert Sommer, Tim Hardin, Ravi Shankar, Melanie Arlo Guthrie, and Joan Baez. Finally, now we go to 1947 for this.
The 15th of August, 1947. The British Empire in India has come to an end. The last Viceroy, Louis Mountbatten.
The flag raising and the salute were done amid scenes of the most fantastic rejoicing. And as the flag broke, a brilliant rainbow appeared in the sky, which was taken by the crowd as a good omen.
India gaining its independence from Britain after 190 years of British rule and then joining the Commonwealth of Nations. Now, the Indian Independence Ordinance created two nations, India and Pakistan. Over the next 10 years, more than 10 million people would migrate from one country to the other based on their religion and culture. That is your look back in history for today, August 15th, and I'm Donald Ang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, a mother and her 12-year-old daughter were arrested in Fairfield after they allegedly kicked out the glass doors at a 7-Eleven on the Post Road. The Fairfield Citizen reports that the pair had been locked in the store by the clerk around 8 at night Sunday after he suspected them of shoplifting. He left the store, locking them in, and called police. Well, the pair kicked out the glass and ran into the parking lot with the clerk chasing after them. The 12-year-old allegedly used a stun gun on the clerk, and police found all three in the lot when they arrived. Now, according to police, that clerk said that the two had come in on prior occasions and befriended him, but he noticed that his inventory of Red Bull was always short after they came to the convenience store. Surveillance video from 2 other times that they were there in July allegedly shows them taking cans of the energy drink. While the mother, 41-year-old Dorsey Saunders of Ridgefield Avenue in Bridgeport, was charged with risk of injury and impairing the morals of a minor, as well as criminal mischief and criminal attempt at 6th-degree larceny, as well as breach of peace. Her 12-year-old daughter was charged with 2nd-degree assault, 1st-degree criminal mischief, and attempt to commit 6th-degree larceny, among other charges. Saunders told police they were regular customers and denied stealing anything from the store. She said she was confused why the clerk locked them in the store and kicked out the glass because they were scared. Inside their car, police found a bag of cold Red Bull cans on the floor of the front seat and 4 packs of Monster and Red Bull on the back seat. All right, well, let's throw it back to Kevin Coleman for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Kevin.
Thank you, Kate. And baseball around Fairfield County continues to be red hot as Fairfield American has punched a ticket to the Little League World Series. Fairfield American rode a 13-hit attack in a pitching duo that allowed only 4 hits to defeat South Portland, Maine 10-0 at the New England Regional Finals on Saturday before 4,500 fans at Breen Field in Bristol. With its 18th consecutive win of the summer, manager Mike Randazzo's team became the 3rd Fairfield team to advance to the Little League World Series, joining the 2012-2014 teams. Fairfield American opens play at Williamsport on Thursday at 3 p.m. when it takes on the Mid-Atlantic Region champion. Sticking in baseball news, Our good buddies at the Trumbull 14 Under team have unfortunately made their way home from the Babe Ruth tournament down in Glen Island, Virginia. Trumbull, the New England champion, lost to West Lynn, Oregon, the Northwest champion, by a score of 16-1 in the Babe Ruth World Series tournament elimination game in Glen Island, Virginia on Monday. Trumbull finished at 1-3 in Northern Division pool play. That'll do it for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Tune into Nutmeg Sports at 2 p.m. I'll be with John Kovach and Bill Blockson. We'll be getting you all caught up with all the baseball news around Fairfield County. That'll do it for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Well, if you plan on watching Monday's solar eclipse, the Westport Astronomical Society at 182 Bayberry Lane is inviting the public to a viewing. Now, the big show will occur along a narrow path of totality less than 70 miles wide, stretching from Salem, Oregon to Charleston, South Carolina. The Westport Society says you can still see views of the eclipse safely in Westport, where we will observe a 70% partial solar eclipse. Everyone is invited to visit the observatory, where they will have solar telescopes and glasses available for safely viewing the eclipse if the sky is clear. Now, that eclipse runs from 1:24 in the afternoon to 4 p.m. with maximum visibility at 2:45. Parking is closed at the observatory except for emergency vehicles and handicapped vehicles, but parking is allowed in the lot below the observatory at the Westport Weston Health District and on Bayberry Lane. And that event is free and open to the public. In other news, a Ridgefield Jazz Festival may be added to the region's cultural calendar as the town continues pursuing the economic and cultural benefits of its lively art scene. The Jazz Festival idea, still in the early concept stage, sparked a wide-ranging discussion last Monday when Ridgefield Playhouse Executive Director Allison Stockel and Ridgefield Arts Council member Allison Greeley met with the town's Economic and Community Development Commission. Now, as ideas were kicked around, the group envisioned a festival based on a collaboration among the Ridgefield Playhouse, Chirp, and the Aldrich Museum, with jazz performances at different venues for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, and local restaurants recruited to feature live acts in the afternoon. You can get more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And volunteers are needed for the Trumbull Fall Festival, which takes place on Friday, September 8th and Saturday, September 9th. Volunteers ages 16 plus are sought for a wide variety of opportunities, and there are many 3-, 4-, and 5-hour shifts available, starting at 4:30 on Friday and 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. According to organizers, it's a great opportunity for high school students who are seeking community service hours, and free admission to the event before and after the volunteer shifts is also given. Now, for more information or to volunteer, you can call Dave Durand at 203-452-5060 or email him at ddurand@trumbullct.gov. And Michelle Busher of New Canaan just completed the epic Caesar ride from London to Rome June 3rd to July 4th. Now, that ride took the couple 32 days, covering 2,056 miles with an elevation gain of over 127,000 feet, riding over the Alps, the Dolomites, and the Apennine mountain ranges. Now, this is their fourth epic ride, having previously cycled from Los Angeles, California to Boston, Massachusetts, from Land's End to John O'Groats, and from Seattle, Washington to the Mexican border. The next trip, they tell the New Canaan Advertiser, will possibly be from Paris to Moscow in 2018. All right, well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we have an interview with one of the organizers behind this Sunday's Sunset Run for the Warriors in Shelton. That coming up after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance Event. Now through August 31st.
Celebrate summer with fresh made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside.
Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
At Pure Barre Ridgefield, our tried and true method can shape every body and fit any schedule. Pure Barre is a total body workout using the ballet bar to perform small isometric movements which burn fat, sculpt muscles, and create long, lean physiques. Sweat away the day and get lost in the music. Pure Barre Ridgefield, located at 86 Danbury Road. Like us on Facebook at Pure Barre Ridgefield.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and a wonderful event is returning to Huntington Center in Shelton this Sunday, the Hope for the Warriors 8th Annual Sunset Run for the Warriors. And I'm joined today by Steve Bartomioli, a Senior Director of Sports and Recreation for the organization. Steve, so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So first, tell us about Hope for the Warriors. What is the work that they do?
So we're a nonprofit. We help post 9/11 veterans, also active duty reserve guard members in all 5 branches. We were started aboard Camp Lejeune in 2006. So this is our going on 12th year, right? So this is our, we do programs in a few different areas. We have clinical health and wellness services where folks can come, get pointed to resources, get direct financial aid. We do transition services, so helping folks get out of the military and into the civilian world. And then we have sports and recreation programs where we do a run series, as you talked about. We're back in Shelton this coming weekend. We have a team program where we partner up with Marine Corps Marathon, New York City Marathon, and get folks out there on the race course wearing our jerseys. And then we do outdoor adventure, so getting folks back into a unit type setting in nature and kind of relaxing and decompressing in those ways.
That's so cool. Now let's talk about the Sunset Run, because there's different levels of this. So if you're a true athlete, there's a run for you. If you just want to have some fun, if you're a kid, there's a kids fun run. So tell us about the different levels, kind of how the event's set up.
Yes, we definitely aim for all ability levels to be out there and participating with us. The history behind that is actually when a service member gets hurt in combat or in training or whatever it might be, our run series could potentially be their first step back into an active lifestyle. So something that's really important to us is making sure that ability for anybody to participate is there. And the other aspect of it is the military family is really important to us. So making sure that the kids can participate and mom and dad can participate with the children. It's definitely an important key factor in what we do. So there's walk. You can walk the 5K if you want to. You can be competitive in the 5K, and we definitely have a 10K for folks to get out and get after it.
Yeah, and tell us kind of a little bit about the atmosphere, because I've been to one of the Sunset Runs, and it's really just an amazing atmosphere. You see some military members there, you see other people cheering them on, the families, you were talking about it. I mean, it's really just supportive in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and that's one of the other main initiatives of our race series in general, not just the Sunset Run, but definitely here. Bridging the gap between the civilian world and the military world, giving both sides exposure to the other and making sure that that's there. And that's kind of part of that transition that we do for service members, making sure that, people feel comfortable in their community, going out and seeing that there are people there who care about them.
Now, as Director of Sports and Recreation for the organization, What's something that you've learned or that's really kind of opened your eyes in working with the organization?
Oh,
could be a hard question.
That is definitely a hard question.
I'm sure there's a lot.
I kind of always go back to how resolute the spirit of the warriors that we work with is. Just getting out there after being injured or being in adverse situations, and still wanting to compete and get after it in different ways, and what folks are really capable of, and how all of us can apply that in our own lives.
That's really inspiring. Now, people don't even have to run necessarily in the race. They could just kind of be in Huntington Center this weekend and kind of cheering everyone on as they cross that finish line, right?
Correct. Yeah, cheering is definitely highly encouraged. Volunteers, if people want to come down and volunteer, we definitely have a ton of different areas where they can do that, whether it's handing out waters or helping us set up prior to. Whatever it is, we can definitely use the extra hands.
So now how can people sign up if they do want to participate this weekend?
They can go right to our website, which is www.hopeforthewarriors.org, and that's all spelled out. Yeah. And if you go right to the race page, and we're doing bib pickup day before and day of. So day before we'll be at we have a fitness studio we're working with, which I can't remember the name of right
We can
now.
put that information up. We'll put that information up in the post.
And also we start bib pickup at 2 o'clock day of.
That day in Huntington Center.
Correct.
All right, very cool. And how can just people support Hope for the Warriors if they don't participate in this weekend's event?
There's tons of different ways. As I said, definitely volunteerism. We have tons of different opportunities, and those span the country. Donations are always helpful for sure, but get out there, run a race wearing our jersey. Any type of word of mouth support is really helpful, and that's how we get our name out there.
Yeah, and we do want to mention, it is these former military members that do benefit from this race and the money raised in it. Yes, it goes directly to them.
Correct. It comes into the organization and goes into the programs that we put on.
All right, Steve, thank you so much for telling us more about Hope for the Warriors. Really appreciate it. You guys do amazing work.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and we really encourage everyone to go this Sunday in Huntington Center. Check it out, the Sunset Run for the Warriors. And thanks again to Steve from Hope for the Warriors for talking with us yesterday. Great event, definitely worth attending this Sunday. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, but of course, Nutmeg Sports coming up at 2 o'clock. Don't miss it, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 with the latest local news and sports. Have a great day.